Alright, so what we're going to do is go over the basic setups of the Xaact 1200, mainly the electrical setups. We have two cords that have to be plugged into two separate circuits. And once you see what we call the idiot light down here, glowing bright green, that means you're on two separate circuits. You can add additional cordage to the outlets there, or to the cords, as long as they're 12 gauge. Okay. In the back here we have the three switches. The first switch is the the pump. Second one is the vacuum, and the third one is our bilge pump, only to be used when it's hooked up front to evacuate. Okay. Now, while we're come on around to the front here, and we'll look and see how it's set up. This is set up to where the clean water goes into this small outlet opening right here, and the dirty water comes back in here through this vac hose. Okay. Now, to empty it, we take this to an area, to a commode or to a dock, and we'll pull it out, hold it up above this is the deal so it doesn't get water all over. So unscrew it, lay it down, and it completely drains this hose, the pickup tank. Okay, now it's very important that we get everything hooked up correctly, and we'll kind of zoom in down here. We got our vac hose up here, and then we got our solution hose hooked up down here. Now, if you have any trouble getting this off or getting it on, it means there's pressure in the line, and we went over and we'll go over briefly again how to release the pressure. Okay, the pump can be adjusted by this knob right here, but when the pressure is adjusted, you actually have to be someone holding the tool, or you have to hold it down in the working position and then adjust it up or down. It goes up to 1200 psi and down to 400 psi. Okay. This hose right here is where you can add water in, so filled hose, so you can have water constantly coming in. This plug right here, you can have water constantly going out by hooking up another hose to it right there, garden hose, and taking it out the door and putting it down a commode there. Okay. So we kind of come back here, we'll look at our tool. This is the 12-inch, 13-inch floor tool. You can see it has a spinner on the bottom, and it's operated, we'll turn it on by pushing it preferably up and back, and while pressing this trigger right here. And then when we want to vacuum excess water off the floor, we take our hand off the trigger and just vacuum while the machine is operating. Now, when we stop operating, when we want to remove our solution hose down here, we have to hit the trigger right here, and that releases the pressure on the machine down below. Okay, here's the trigger. Okay, and this coupling here is designed to go on this end only because it is a 2-inch adapted down to 1.5 inches. Okay, now let's go back here and I'll show you how to get into, in case the machine is pressurized. Release these two hatches here. Carefully lift this tank up. Make sure you're not spilling any water out the front there. And there is a lever down there. There you go. Thomas is pointing to it. Pick it up to the ceiling, and it reverses it.
You want me to go ahead and do it?
Yeah. There's no pressure. Okay, and then he pushes it back down level with the floor. Okay, and that gets it back in operating order. All right, thanks.